Welcome to Monster Energy TRP National Motocross Championships. This is continued coverage of round 2 of the National Motocross Championships held in the mother city, Cape Town. This is the sandy but awesome fun Zone 7 motocross track. Magnificent facility and one of the funnest tracks for the riders to ride in the race season. Good to see all the sponsors on board. We're looking forward to a fantastic season of racing. Early days still, as the Monster girls wish us luck ahead of the day's racing. The pits were full. Big rider turnout for what was going to be an absolutely magnificent day of racing at the start of the 2016 National Motocross Championships. Big crowd as always in Cape Town for National Motocross, and we're about to get underway. The 65s, we caught up with a few of the little guys.
My name is Dayon Manuel and I'm bike number 199.
Joshua Fletcher and 146.
My name is Keegan Honeycomb and my bike number is 36.
My name is Lucas Fenter. I ride a 65. I'm number 121.
I'm Ross Peterson. My number is 388 and I ride in 65 class.
Tyler Tarantino, number 300 in the 65 class.
One of the biggest fields of the day, the 65cc class, which bodes well for the future of our sport in South Africa. It's going to be about a good start. We'll see there someone from the outside with a great start. Whole shot will be important here. A very tight left-hander as they head onto the main circuit, but it seems like everyone has got through turn 1 safely. Firm favourites would be the number 20 of Hayden Tully, but the two Swaziland riders of Blake Young and Dylan Kirk would be hotshot favourites. There is the 55 of Dylan Kirk right up towards the front end of the field, chasing down on his fellow countryman on the 331, Blake Young. Up in the front though, the man leading the points chase, the number 20 of Hayden Tully, and already starting to get a little bit of a gap out there. The 331 of Blake Young from Swaziland, a little look over his shoulder. This will be new territory for them down here in Cape Town. They wouldn't have spent too much time this side of the country, but certainly becoming a strong force in the 65 class. Great slow-mo action of the riding style of the man in the front of the 65 class, getting away from this little battle for second and third. That podium position going to be hotly contested in 2016. Hayden Tully, good riding style, keeping his head back through the sandy turns. And you can see the gap he's got now over the 331 of Blake Young. Blake Young also looks like he's shaken the pressure coming from his fellow countryman as we start to look at some of the mid-pack chasers out there. Chase Honeycomb in a big battle with Liam Lambert. Tyler Tarantino also buried in that pack. With our front runners at the bottom end of the circuit, you can see just how sandy it is for those little wheels. Dylan Kirk now dropped a long way back. He must have made a couple of mistakes. There's the 199 Dayon Manuel. He's made his way up into third place. And a great shot there of Tyler Tarantino. Vastly improved ride in the deep sand. Yeah, we can see that chasing back. Dayon Manuel leading a couple of riders. The 17, Liam Lambert, right in the mix there. All those riders fighting for a podium position. And local riders, they'll be used to the sandy conditions out there. The 28 was Garrick Henley. He was going through, part of the Tinswallow out of Africa team. Another shot of Hayden Tully back in the front, and you can see still a little bit of breathing room over Blake Young. He slowed the pace down now on the last lap, but can't afford to slow down too much. Blake Young has kept him in check. A nice little wheelie there. He's got one more corner to go, and Hayden Tully is going to take the 65cc race win and maintain the points lead. Great ride from the Gauteng rider. Second place going to go to the man from Swaziland on the 331. Blake Young has a look over his shoulder. He won't see his fellow countryman. It would have been Dayon Manuel from Zimbabwe. Time now for the big 450cc class. That's Wyatt Avis. Ross smile there as he gets ready. He'll love the sand. Spent many, many years racing in Holland, where sand is what it's all about. Green flags. The first race of the MX1 class about to get underway. Anthony Reynard on the Husqvarna will be the firm favourite. Hometown man, and a great start will be needed here. Someone starting on the very, very outside. We'll see if that pays off for him as they go down into turn 1. You can see all very, very close. First or last in this class. They are made up of very, very talented riders, and most of them have won a South African championship at some point or another. Great aerial footage of this windy Zone 7 track in the centre part. It opens up as you head to the back, and Karen Fitzgerald on the Red Bull KTM has gone to the front. The big number 1 leading out, Sasha Nordia on the ABE minus Husqvarna in that second place. Look at the hang time they get down the back straight. The one part of the track where the 450s really get to open up. Through the rhythm section they go, and one of our former stars there, Richard van der Westhuizen in the mix. Wyatt Avis trying to hold off Anthony Reynard, who shuts the door on him. Look at David Goosen buried down in the pack after such a dominant performance in PE. He has got some work to do. So the whole shot man back to the front like he's been known to be the whole shot man over the last few years. Good to see. That's Kieran Fitzgerald. Sasha Nordia now got his hands full of Neville Bradshaw, sits in third place. Richard van der Westhuizen starting to come through. He's in fourth place as we watch the riders scrub over that main tabletop, keeping it nice and low. Richard van der Westhuizen means business. Wide Avis there, and you can see the riders David Goosen and Anthony Reynard trying to find their way through. Well, the firm favourite Anthony Reynard, not the start he would have liked here. We watch a couple of the riders, Dylan Donald also in the mix. David Goosen cutting his way through the pack. Back with our race leader, Kieran Fitzgerald, not normally renowned as a sand rider, but we were able to catch up with him before the race.
This track's actually one of my favourite tracks, the best track to ride. Always do a good job on the track, so I'm looking forward to it today.
Well, there you can see David Goosen, not quite the flow we saw of him in Port Elizabeth. It just shows you the ups and downs of motocross. Very, very demanding and challenging sport. It's all starting to tighten up in the front now. Sasha Nordia, one of the riders that changed manufacturers for 2016. We caught up with him before the race.
Yeah, no, it's been a change. So it's its own unique bike, and you got to find out like how to set it up, what works for you. But it's definitely a strong bike, and it's got all the attributes of a winning bike, and I see guys winning all over the world on it, so happy to be on it and just figuring it out slowly.
Sasha Nordia getting used to that Husqvarna and looking pretty good at the early stage of this MX1 first heat. Neville Bradshaw in close pursuit, and Richard van der Westhuizen trying to join that party. Anthony Reynard fighting his way up. He'll be looking for a podium if he can get there. He knows this is a very demanding class with some of the best riders in Africa. Some slow-mo of Kieran Fitzgerald. Very, very stylish rider. This looks like it might be a change for second place. The Tinswallow out of Africa, Yamaha rider, has moved up a position. And Neville Bradshaw will be looking to go towards this man up in the front on the number one. He's got some work to do though. A little bit of a cushion for Kieran Fitzgerald, but not too much. Neville Bradshaw known as a very strong finisher. Sasha Nordia back in third place. And there comes Anthony Reynard, the danger man, starting to make his way through the field. He's got ahead of Richard van der Westhuizen. Doing a good job though, riding inside the top five. David Goosen has had a hard race. He's also going to have to settle for around about sixth place if he can hold on to it. We go on board with David and see just how demanding this Zone 7 motocross track is. Some brake bumps into that left-hander. A deep sand rut which he cuts through with the precision and skill. Oh, there's a mistake. Kieran Fitzgerald has got problems. And he must have made a mistake somewhere on the track because Neville Bradshaw has gone through to the front. In fact, Kieran Fitzgerald has dropped back quite a few positions. It now is under big threat there from Anthony Reynard. So Neville Bradshaw on the 272. What a race to fight through from fourth place up to the front. Good second place for Sasha Nordia. Holds off Anthony Reynard. And there's Kieran Fitzgerald, the man who led most of the race, right back in fourth place. The 125 high school's on the line, otherwise known as the Kamikaze Pilots. These young riders around about 16, 17 years of age hold back for nothing. The way they go off the concrete start, you see a couple of bikes getting sideways, but a good start there for the big number 5 of Regan Wasmuth, all the way from Zimbabwe. He wants to get up towards the front of the pack. It looks like Cale Dormail. Oh, there's a crash in the background. Unfortunately, that's going to cost some riders. They're going to race from the back there, but Cale Dormail with a great start on number 20 ahead of Keegan Hickson Mahoney. Then it's Regan Wasmuth, Ricky Ruff with a good start as well. Seth van den Abela, the hometown favourite. He's fighting his way through the pack, trying to make some passes up on the inside. Keegan Hickson Mahoney in that second place, the championship points leader. And he's had some good pace here through the practice session, so will be the favourite at the front of this race. There goes Seth van den Abela, big whip there as he starts to make a few passes. And a little mistake from Cale Dormail, our race leader. Riders going down. Unfortunately through the right-hander. That's not where you want to go down. The 42 of Marco de Frey, also a top contender in this class. So now a new race leader on the 14, Keegan Hickson Mahoney. That's bad news for the chasing riders. He has been super quick on this sandy, rough circuit here at Zone 7. It's in Swallow out of Africa riders also fighting their way through inside the top 5 for Ricky Ruff and Regan Wasmuth. There's Nathan Victor sliding his way off that jump after that first lap crash, getting some medical attention. The 338 of Seth van den Abela, he's up into that top 3 now. He can see Keegan Hickson Mahoney not too far away. Matthew Kruger, Slade Smith, they buried in the mid-pack. So much talent in this 125 class. We watch our front runners over the very big tabletop at the back. One of the best tracks for jumping. The riders really enjoy it out there. Keegan Hickson Mahoney hasn't put a foot wrong on the number 14. It's Seth van den Abela that's gone missing from the fray. So Cale Dormail back into second place ahead of Ricky Ruff. And here comes Regan Wasmuth as well, up and running the 42 after that early crash. There's Marco de Frey Well, Keegan Nixon-Mahoney missed the checkered flag, but a big dust there for second place. Cale Dumail manages to hold off Jordan Fenter. Next up, the MX3 class, and we caught up with some of the old war horses.
Yes, very nice. A little bit of rain, big jump. Just up my alley, very nice.
Down in the pits, Dave managed to catch up with Rod Bergstrom.
What are you actually going to do when you grow up? That scares me because I have no idea. At present, I'm still enjoying motorbikes, the best I always have. This year is my 50th year of competitive motocross and scrambling. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just look after Roger for a while until he gets old.
Multiple national champions on the start line here for this MX3 Vets and Masters class. There's the 717 of Richard van der Westhuizen. You'll see him get the whole shot. He's not going to stay out very long, just using this class as a bit of practice. He's going to leave the racing to Ryan Hunt, Ian Topless, and of course, one of the hometown favourites, Terence Monk. There you can see Ryan Hunt on the 777, one of the stalwarts of motocross over the years in South Africa. He'll be getting ready for the World Veterans Championships along with Ian Topless, and good that they can get out there and try and chase down on Richard van der Westhuizen, who's a fair bit younger than them. There's the 31 of Gerard Honeycomb, knows this track very well, man from this part of the world. He wants to get up and race on the podium. Great shot of Richard van der Westhuizen, but there's battles all the way around the track as we watch Billy Flanagan on the 111 trying to hold off the 22 of Gary Killian. Both riders know each other very well and have raced over the years in this MX3 class. Lots of pride at stake here. There's the 110 of Terence Monk trying to find his way past Gerard Honeycomb. Loves the sand as Terence Monk, been a Royal Honda supporter for many years. Back with our race in the front, Ian Topless holds off Ryan Hunt. Ryan Hunt with that familiar standing riding style hardly sits down on the bike before he gets out of the turn. He's back on the pegs. Phenomenal rider and a great asset to the sport of motocross in South Africa. Checker flag though for the 777. Ryan Hunt comes back to the sport on the top of the podium ahead of the 76 Ian Topless.
But good fun out there, you know. It's great to be back in the saddle again and out at the racing, and yeah,
time now for the ladies and the open support class. Ladies taking their racing very serious this year. The pace has been fast at the front end of the pack. Away they go, you can hear those bikes rev. They dump the clutch as they go off at that concrete start. Raining C gets that all-important whole shot. Some of the big 450s mixed in there. The ladies will be riding 254 strokes and 125, so it'll be hard for them to mix it with the open support guys. But the firm favourite will be Brittany Cuthbert. Mason Bruce, James Kritzer and Brendan Roger will be some of the favourites in that open support class, and they'll be hoping to make sure they get out and beat the ladies, as we will see the 313 of Bevan Christie buried in the mid-pack. We managed to catch up with our lady rider Leah Haygate all the way from Zambia.
It's like 2 flights and a long drive from home, missing lots of school, but an amazing opportunity to get involved in. So really looking forward to this season.
What a talent coming out of Zambia. She'll be looking forward to the hard pack tracks as we move inland after this Cape Town round. Right behind her was Nanda Cloes as well on the 244. Back with our ladies front runner, the 71, Brittany Cuthbert, giving some of the open support riders a real hard time. Nanda Cloes on the 244, giving some pressure to Leah Haygate. Checker flag goes out for the 71, Brittany Cuthbert, showing her style.
We're clearing the jumps, we jump in the braking bumps. When the track gets rougher, we can handle it. So I think as a whole, we've all improved. It's really great to see.
Time now for the final race of the day, the MX1 class. Neville Bradshaw got the win in Heat 1. That's despite riding with a knee injury carried over from the Port Elizabeth round a few weeks ago. He'll be hoping to get out there and do much of the same. Anthony Reynard, though, the hometown favourite, had a disaster start in Heat 1. Came through to a good result. A win will be the only thing on his cards as the riders get ready for this final race of the day. The gate goes down. And you can see it's a great pull-off there from Anthony Reynard, and it's elbow to elbow down the start straight with Karen Fitzgerald. Richard van der Westhuizen has to take evasive action, but none of the riders backing out. They know how important a good start is. Coming into the mix, David Goosen. Much better start this time, but running a little bit wide. The Husqvarna, though, is going to grab the whole shot onto the inside. Great slow-mo action of our MX1 class. Couple of other riders in the mix. There is Sasha Rodier on the AB minus Husqvarna. Wyatt Avis trying to sneak around on the outside. Dylan Donald buried in the pack as well. One of the local guys on the 102. So down the back straight, the fastest part of the track. Some nice hang time for these guys. They go over that very big step up. And Ace Motorsports Husqvarna up in the front of Anthony Reynard, just where he needed to be after that poor start in Heat 1. He has been a hard man to catch on a track that he knows very well, practices here very often. Kieran Fitzgerald has been the surprise package of the day. He's dealt with these rough conditions very well, proving that after Port Elizabeth, he's put himself back together and wants to go and win another championship. David Goosen, better start, but he's under pressure from Neville Bradshaw very quickly around the outside. Some good momentum for Neville Bradshaw there. We'll wait and see if he can make that pass on David Goosen. Into the turn they go, persisting with the outside lines. This time it doesn't work for Neville Bradshaw and actually loses a bit of ground. Has to be careful. Got some big riders behind him. There's Session Ordia and Dylan Donald. Good pace from these guys. White Avis, not the start he would have liked, but trying to catch up to the rest of the pack. Anthony Reynard, very neat rider. There's no fuss about him. Just go fast and very fit as well. Another fit rider in this class is Richard van der Westhuizen.
It's just fun to be at the track again. 2 years, I couldn't expect not to be nervous. The sport, even if you take a couple of weeks off, you feel the difference. So 2 years is a long time.
Well, it looks like Richard van der Westhuizen's seat has come loose. That's going to put him down the field as we go on board with David Goosen, just showing you how fast and how high these guys jump going down that back straight. Anthony Reynard, that very solid riding style. You don't often see many mistakes out of this man. Such good concentration. Kieran Fitzgerald holding on to that second place. He's going to have to ride hard though, because Neville Bradshaw is going to finish this one strong.
Yeah, knees. It's been a long 6 weeks since the last National P. I've had like a lot of treatment and stuff, and just like a damage limitation thing. This will be my last year riding, so I didn't want to go out like that. So like painkillers and strapping up tight, and hopefully get one more season out of it.
Oh, he says one more season. I know he's got a few more in him. Neville Bradshaw is a big talent. He wants a good result here in the National Championships this year. Roger Dean Bergstrom goes over that big finish jump. He's been around in motocross a long time, choosing to ride the MX1 class. Checkered flag waiting out on our race leader as there looks like there's going to be a big dash down to the finish for that second place. Inside line, Neville Bradshaw. This could pay off for him and does so. Oh, strange mistake there. Kieran Fitzgerald running wide, handing it to Neville Bradshaw, but the checkered flag goes out for Anthony Reynard. In the Thor Results Roundup, we go through the official overall results from the Monster TRP National Motocross Championship in Cape Town. Hayden Tully with the win there in the 65cc class ahead of the two Swazi riders, Blake Young, Dylan Kirk in third place, the Zimbabwean Diane Manuel in fourth, Luca Maynard and Chase Hanekom also in the points. In the 1-5 high school class, hotly contested, Keegan Hickson Mahoney with the win there ahead of Ricky Roth, great ride on the Yamaha, ahead of Cal DeMail, Market of Frey, Seth Van Annabelle and Regan Wasmuth in the points. In the ladies class, Brittany Cuthbert, dominant performance there ahead of Nanda Close, Leah Hagate from Zambia in third place, and Brendan Roger with the win in the open support class. In the MX3 class, Ryan Hunt, welcome return to motocross with the win there ahead of Ian Topless, Alec Combrink and Terence Monk, who knew their arch rivalry ahead of Brett Bircher and Jacques van der Merwe. Neville Bradshaw with the win in the Premier MX1 class ahead of Anthony Reynard, Husqvarna's Session Ordia in third, Kieran Fitzgerald in fourth, David Goosen and Richard van der Westhuizen.